Hi there, Cancer. Thank you for joining me for your monthly forecast for November. This month begins with the Sun in an awesome part of your scope, giving you absolute permission to express the best of yourself. You also have Mars in a chatty area, which is going to give your personal communications extra vibrancy. You may also find yourself on the move a lot this month. But both these planets, or in the Sun's case, which is a luminary, are forging a great link with Pluto. So we have what's known as a minor grand trine, a collection of three planets all cooperating absolutely splendidly together. But Saturn is close by too. Saturn is just 3 degrees away from the Sun by the 3rd when there's a very important solar eclipse. So what does all this mean? Well, if you think back over the last 13 months, I don't actually think it has necessarily been a walk in the park when it comes to your personal expression, nor perhaps to do with your relationships with your kids, if you have any, or perhaps even in your love life. If there has been progress, it's probably because you've had to work extremely hard. Saturn, it can be a joyless influence at times, and if we do make progress, it is because we really put our backs into it. So with Saturn and the Sun, or the solar eclipse, so close together, what are the implications for the next 6 months? Well, the implications are actually rather good, but you do have to be serious about things. And that may mean looking at some of your attitudes, becoming more self-aware. It may mean that you're going to have to really try very hard to maximize your talents and flair and artistry. Things won't necessarily come on a plate for you, and you may not necessarily expect that to happen. But we need to be realistic, and Saturn is about realism. And if you can be realistic about the attributes you've got and the way that you want to get them across to other people, you can make fantastic progress, particularly once Mercury starts to move forwards from the 10th of this month. Because in the first 10 days it is twisting backwards, and unfortunately there could be some cross wires, particularly around your love life. If you're looking to meet somebody new, there could be changes of dates, and you may be uncertain about how things are going to go forwards. But there is going to be a very special event which occurs on the 5th, when Venus, the planet of love and affection, moves into your opposite sign of Capricorn. This is going to bring a much more harmonising vibe to bear on the whole for the rest of the month. But it does, for 3 or 4 days in week 3, go alongside the very deep and potent influence of Pluto. During that time, something highly significant can happen around your love life. It can be for the good, it can be more challenging. One way or another, it can make you look at things in a very different way. Just be conscious of any part of yourself and your attitudes which may try to use people, but also look out for that kind of attitude from other people. I'm not saying you're like this at all, but Pluto is about power. Venus is about need. It's about needing things that we want, whether it's money, sex, things like this. And these kind of emotions, very base emotions, are deep within all of us. And Pluto can just ramp them up and make them that much more to the fore. So just be conscious around that time. However, you do also have Jupiter starting to run backwards in your time in the early parts of this month. But on the 13th, fortunately, Neptune starts to go forwards. Planets, they're going back and forwards all the time. And then on the 17th, we have a full moon. And this full moon is basically saying to you that you could find yourself spoilt for choice. A lot of people may want a piece of you, friends, a lover. It may be difficult to prioritise what you want. Time management's going to be important. And if you can't be with someone, then let them down gently. A little bit of diplomacy can work wonders. And I do feel that with Venus in your opposite sign, a lot of people can be making a play for your affections. So you're in a very enriching position for much of this month. Then on the 22nd, the Sun moves. It moves into a much more practical area where it's asking you to get on the ball about domestic chores, to be a bit more virtuous about your health, fitness and dietary issues. But still, Venus is active, and in the last few days of this month, it's going to be in opposition with Jupiter. And again, something magical can happen. Or you can just over binge on something that you know isn't necessarily good for you. It may be a person that you know maybe isn't the right one, but there's something irresistible about them. It could be calorific goodies. It could be an item that you want, which is a bit expensive. but there is an opportunity to have something really nice. It's keeping it in proportion. And also, as the month comes to a close, Mercury and Jupiter are forging a stunning link, as is Mars and Jupiter. Your enthusiasm, passion, confidence really are going to be lifting up as this month comes to a close. There's everything to go for. You just need to work really hard at all your qualities to overcome the downside of Saturn, but make Saturn work for you well, along with that stunning solar eclipse. Thank you for joining me. Good luck and goodbye for now.